Hi, good morning everybody. Welcome to this Thursday's edition live stream. Today we're going to be talking about grays and gourds, which sounds like I'm going to be talking about aliens, but that's not what I'm talking about today. I am talking about how to decorate your front porch for Halloween and for fall, and how to very easily transition it to a very festive Christmas look just by changing out a few plants. So it's really nice, so you're not doing a whole entire planting for Halloween, a new planting for Thanksgiving, and a new planting for Christmas. So how I'm going to be addressing that with you is how to incorporate gray foliage plants into your planting and into your landscape. So then that way they're a really easy transition. Gray plants, I think in my book, are so totally underrated. They're so versatile. It's anything that has this beautiful gray foliage. So usually gray plants, a lot of them have a really beautiful fuzziness to them. What's really, really great about gray foliage plants is that they really pop at nighttime. So when we're starting to think about having those Christmas parties and people over for Thanksgiving in the evening and all the Christmas lights twinkling and stuff off the gray foliage, it really makes it pop. So that's what we're going to be talking today. So I'm Sarah Smith. I'm a horticulturist here at Rogers Gardens, and I appreciate you tuning in. This is always such a fun thing to do. Obviously, I'm a very festive person. I absolutely love all the holidays. I get really into it, and planting is a big part of it. So I think as I became more attuned to plants and stuff, that actually got me more in tune to the seasons, because I really was able to see all the different seasonal transitions in plants, and that just makes holidays seem so much more special. So these are all the plants we have today. Currently, we're putting out new pumpkins, so we have a lot of beautiful, beautiful pumpkins. So I have some of our pumpkins displayed here. What's really amazing about these is most of them are really edible. So they're really, really tasty. Things like gourds and stuff like this, these are more just for decorations, but these beautiful pumpkins are really great to eat. We have a lot of beautiful recipes and things for them online too. So even for Thanksgiving, you can have it out for Halloween, and then you can cook it for Thanksgiving and give it to your friends. So we have a really beautiful pumpkin soup recipe that we have on our website. I made it last year and it was a total hit and just looked gorgeous too. So, and I cooked it in a pumpkin just like this one. So this is the Cinderella pumpkin. We have the Gerundels that all came in. These are these beautiful gray ones. They're so pretty. Everybody absolutely loves these. So we have all kinds of really beautiful ones. So once Thanksgiving's over, you'll clear away your pumpkins. You'll look at your planting. So what I have here, I would even leave this. This is a purple chocolate Cosmo. Isn't that color so pretty? So when you think about the dark colors and the gray colors, they're actually very, very neutral. So what you would do at this point is you would pull all the pumpkins away, obviously, and then you're going to switch out all of your orange color or any of your fall color plantings. Say you do yellow, or you do oranges, or maybe some auburn kind of colors. So you would pull these out. Marigolds, aren't these beautiful? Look at that cute little tag that we have. So marigolds special for Halloween and the Day of the Dead celebration. So I would pull the mums out and I pull the marigolds out. So now I'm left with just the dark colors and the grays. And maybe you're not going to do reds. You can even do whites. I think white and silver and green is just a really beautiful combination. So you could easily, excuse me while I grab from my plants, add in a beautiful red. Nothing says Christmas like cyclamen. Absolutely. We don't have poinsettias yet, but you could absolutely put a really pretty beautiful poinsettia in here. And then look at these really nice red trailing geraniums. These are ivy geraniums. So as simple as that. 1, 2, 3. Christmas. It's so simple. But you're leaving most of your plant material. You're really only changing out 2 things. So you're not having to change out all the time. I think a lot of people feel hesitant to do any kind of holiday displays because they feel like the holidays happen so fast, right? Aren't they coming up super quick? It seems kind of overwhelming. It's like last year took forever and this year went by in an instant. It's just kind of interesting, but instantly you have Christmas and you don't have to change out too much. So you don't have to spend a ton of money changing out your plants all the time for all the different holidays. You can do it really, really simply. And putting up poinsettia, I love planting poinsettias into my containers outside. They'll do well as long as you keep them protected. If it gets too cold, they don't like that. But if you have a protected patio, they do really, really well. I think people feel like it's such an indoor plant, and really it's not. It's actually an outdoor plant. So poking in a really beautiful poinsettia into this arrangement would be really nice too. And let's say that you're not doing Christmas, but maybe you're doing Hanukkah, and instead of adding in a red, you want to add some beautiful whites. I love kale. This is Ornamental Kale. It's one of my all-time favorites. Super, super beautiful and white inside. As this gets bigger, it gets whiter and whiter and whiter. And you can just do whites. And ta-da, how beautiful. And if you even went this route, what's really nice about this is into New Year's, nothing says New Year's like silvers and whites, and it's a new start of the year. It feels very fresh. This works really well for that too. So last year with my holiday planting, I did all greens and whites. I kept it very, very classic and very, very clean for Christmas, and it just looked so beautiful. I even added a couple of the black pansies that we had from Halloween because that white and black just was so classic feeling and so pretty. And I left all my white lights up outside and had a really, really beautiful small New Year's little party just for my immediate family. And it was just so nice to kind of celebrate that, yes, this is over and we're starting a new year. So it's very, very, very easy, very transitional. I think grays are so totally underrated. So I'll show you what my favorite gray plants are. So I have a couple up here and I have a few down here. I didn't want to overwhelm this very simple setup here. So grasses, I absolutely love. They're so, so pretty. They're part of the fall is for planting sale. Or the fall is for planting sale. It's 25% off. This is a type of festuca actually, but it's a nice thick festuca. So beautiful. I love it. Phil Silver. So this is 25% off right now too. And then licorices. I bought the big one and the petite. I adore these plants. They are so pretty. They're so easy. Full sun, low water. They fill up a huge space. They can get big, so just be prepared, but it's a very good filler and spiller. So that's part of the equation we like to use in our plantings as a filler and spiller. So this will trail over the edge, but it'll also kind of fill up just very organically a space in any kind of pot or any kind of garden. It's very easy to cut back if it gets a little overwhelming because they can get pretty big. But this is the petite one, and this is the full-size one. And I just think they're so pretty. I love the daintiness of this, but I also love the boldness of this one. So you can kind of get anything out of this plant, which is really amazing. Then just very, very simple Dusty Miller. I think Dusty Miller is really an underrated plant as well. Dusty Miller is just so nice because it combos well with the contrast. It combos really great with the whites. It's just a really, really beautiful, easy plant. And I grabbed a really beautiful one we have down here. I have this one in my garden right now. This one's called Snowy Owl. Isn't that beautiful? And it's so fuzzy. It's so gray that it's white. And it's just a really nice full plant in my garden. I absolutely love it. This one I've had for a couple of years. Some Dusty Millers, they tend to kind of bolt, especially the ones that you buy in the containers like this. So over time, especially once you get into summer, so you can have these for a very long time, they start to bolt. But this one actually didn't bolt on me, and it was really nice. It would get some flowers on it. I would just cut those back because I didn't want the yellow flower in my garden. Didn't match with the colors I had going on, but it stayed very, very nice. I love this Snowy Owl one. And then the last one I want to show you. Isn't this cool? I have to say this right. It's Chrysosiphyllera. It's a very weird, they call it snow sickles. Chrysosiphyllera. Those Latin names, man. But it's just very, very pretty cool. Snow sickles. It's got a really kind of very interesting, unique structure. And again, it's that so gray that almost transitions to that beautiful white color. It's just a really, really great, nice filler too. So all this combination, whether you're putting in your fall colors into this, or you're putting your Christmas colors into this, or you're putting your Hanukkah colors into this, or whatever you're celebrating, or just celebrating a new year and something really, really clean, nice and easy. It's a very, very gray color is a very, very easy thing to just combo with anything and kind of get that really, really cool pop that you want. And at nighttime, it's just so beautiful. We did a Christmas garden, I think it was 2 years ago, and it was all a midnight moonlit garden. So all the colors were greens and grays. And at nighttime, when we stayed open late and the twinkling of all the Christmas lights, it was magical. It was just so beautiful. So it really pops and almost seems like it's like glowing in the dark, which is amazing. All of this stuff is pretty full sun, great for containers. Make sure when you're using a container using potting mix, not planting mix. That's one of the biggest mistakes that people will make. So you never want to plant in a pot in planting mix. It's got to be potting mix so it drains well. And then just think about how big these things are going to get. It is nice to have a little bit of instant gratification and push everything super close together, but you're going to realize down the road that you're going to have to do a little bit of trimming here and there. And that's okay sometimes if you don't mind and if you're expecting it, but very easy to just even do a couple of pots clustered together with just one plant, and you stage those all together. That's a very beautiful look as well. So there's also things that will work in the shade. Not as many of the red flowers that you're going to get for shade planting, so doing white will work really well. The cyclamen will handle some shade. I lost my red one already. Oh, he's down here. But this will handle some shade, so you can definitely do that if you have a shaded area. But just so pretty, pop in a little bit of that red. Grays and gourds. It's not about aliens. So, of course, we do these live. So if anybody has any questions about anything, I'm always here to answer those questions. If you came in late, you can always put all your questions down below, and we'll answer those for you later. Soon we are going to be open later for Christmas. We're really gearing up for it. The train garden's already in, so it's a really exciting time here. But we have a really beautiful range of pumpkins and stuff, nice ones that are edible. So think about that when you're buying something that's not just for decoration, but you can also eat this for Thanksgiving, which is really kind of a great thing. Is there any current questions right now?
Yes. Could you show the small white ones again?
Yeah, sure.
Small white plants.
So my favorite one that I'll pop out first is the licorice, Helichrysum. And this is the petite one, and this is the full-size one. There's also a lime green one, and there's a variegated one. I think we have the variegated one right now, but I didn't see the limey colored one. But very, very versatile plant. This will handle full sun, but this will also handle some shade too, which I really like about this one. So if you have like a morning porch area that has that morning sun going on and afternoon shade, this will be totally fine in there. Full dark shade, it'll get a little leggy, but this is a really great one because it's super versatile. Fills in and spills over, so it kind of hits both of those things with just one plant. So it's one of my favorites. So they call it licorice, but the botanical is Helichrysum. You're gonna make me say chrysaliferis. Man, I can't think of how to say it now. Chrysaliferis? I'll put it down below. But they call this snow sickles or icicles. And of course it doesn't have the tag on it. I grabbed one, it's chrysaliferis. Anyways, really beautiful plant. This one really wants to be in more sun, but what I really like about this one is it doesn't need a lot of water, so this even combos well with like some succulents and stuff. It almost, because of how structured it is, it almost has a little bit of an edgy kind of look to it. I feel like this can be in all kinds of plantings. It could be in something very soft like this, but it could also be in something a little bit more modern, a little bit more edgy. It's a really neat, versatile plant. Doesn't get too terribly big. It's not going to be like the licorice, but it'll fill in this spot. And then when we have these planted in our display pots, it's something people are constantly asking about because it's so unusual looking. I don't know if you can kind of see how cool that structure is. Isn't that neat? And then Dusty Millers. There's just the regular old school Dusty Miller that everybody kind of knows about, but then we have all these new neat varieties of Dusty Miller. What I also like about Dusty Miller, and I think a lot of people don't realize, is this makes a really good cut foliage in any kind of things that you bring in your house. I do a lot of really fun flowers that I like to cut and bring inside, and Dusty Miller is such a great filler foliage and lasts for a really long time in water, like really long time. It's really kind of neat. So, and again, being that it's gray, it lends itself to all different kinds of color palettes. So it could be mixed essentially with anything. It's like one of the great neutrals, which is really great. So this one is the one that I have planted in my yard right now. This one's called Snowy Owl. And I love the thickness of the foliage. This one doesn't bolt and go to seed like some of the annual kind does. It does flower. I cut those flowers off occasionally. I even use those flowers in the arrangements because they're kind of neat, but it's a little bit thicker feeling, a little bit more, almost has like a suede type feeling to the leaf. But Snowy Owl I absolutely love, and part of the fall is for planting sales, so 25% off. That's going to go on into November, so it's a great time to get things established, especially in the ground. And then the grasses. So, and there's all different kinds of gray grasses. There's the traditional festuca, which is the very small, tufty one that I think everybody's very used to. I grabbed this one because I just really loved the linearness of this and the height, and it's just got that thick, nice blade to it. So all the grasses right now, also part of the falls for planting, really cool, California native. So there's all kinds of really great things. So this is a pretty versatile kind of subject, and you can do it with anything. You can do it in shade, you can do it in sun, but just understanding how to combo those colors so it's really aesthetically pleasing, and the fact that if you just pick a couple of staples and you make sure your staples are neutral, then you just pop out those different colors that you have and pop in new colors. So it's super simple. I also have the kale. So doesn't really fall into the gray necessarily, but ornamental kale, one of my favorites. This beautiful white color in the middle is just so pretty, and I think that's all I brought with us. Yeah, and then I have the red here. So but yeah, it's very pretty. Oh, and this one I didn't really introduce what the other kind of things are that I have in here. I love the darks and I'm a big contrast planter. When I do my own planting, I love really bold contrast, right? So this one is Ipomia, and this one's called the Jet Black. There's a bunch of different ones. Some have more lobed leaves, but this fills over the edges too, so it's really pretty. And then Chocolate Cosmo. You guys all have Chocolate Cosmo, right? Isn't that amazing? So that works for fall. That works as being a neutral for Christmas time as well. These actually smell like chocolate, which is really kind of cool. And these are also a really great cut flower, especially because the stems are so long and straight. So that is all my plants right here. Isn't that beautiful? Just even like this. I love it. Not even really well planned out, but they all just fit together so well. Any other questions?
No, that seems to be it for today.
Awesome. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in. This is a really exciting time. Again, it does feel like all those holidays just fall right after another, and like once we catch our breath from one, another one's right around the corner. So it's just really nice to make the gardening for you easy and simple, so you don't have to stress about it. The last thing you want to do is rip out all your plants and start all over again just for every single thing that we have coming up. So you can make it really easy by just adding a couple of the really pretty grays, put those pumpkins in, put all those gourds in, take them away, cook these guys up because they're super tasty. I think so many people don't realize it, but they really are good. These big thick ones are really nice because they hold really well. You cook that whole entire casserole or soup right inside the pumpkin and serve it in the pumpkin, and everybody's going to be absolutely wowed. So make sure you check out our YouTube pages and things. We have a video about how to make this, so you can actually watch Jonathan make one of these, which is really great. The recipe's there. You can also go to the website and just download that recipe, but it's really amazing. So if you haven't done that yet, go check that out. It's really fantastic. Make sure that you are subscribed to our YouTube and our Instagram page as well, and if you have a friend that's like really gaga for all the different kinds of crazy pumpkins, tag down below, because pumpkins are in today and they run out really fast, especially these beautiful gray guys. These girandels are so popular with us. Look how beautiful that is. So great. So come on by and then check out and subscribe to our YouTube page, and thank you so much for stopping by. So be well, be safe, and happy gardening, everybody. Bye.